very inspiring. Our next speaker, Winfield Tripp Twyman, but those who know him fondly call him Tripp, is a rising senior from right here in San Diego, another one of the fabulous product student. He's studying accounting, finance, and entrepreneurship at the University of Arizona. He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Eller African American Honorary, the Bobcat Senior Honorary, Eller Unity Board, and Beta Alpha Psi, so he is very busy. One interesting thing about Tripp is that he and his younger sister Caroline, who you saw up here earlier as an essay award winner, have a 164 snap streak and counting, and I don't know where they are right now, but when he wrote this, they were at 164 and counting. And during his free time, Tripp enjoys long walks on the beach, chocolate chip cookies, and thinking of new ways to solve social inequities. So he's kind of chocolate chip cookies, social inequities, which way we're going to go today. So he's doing quite a bit. If he had to give one piece of advice, it would be these words from Charlie Munger: try to deserve what you want. Please join me in welcoming Winfield Tripp Twyman.
Okay, there are a couple of things I want to do before I start saying words. Firstly, can we get a rousing round of applause for all of the students that are being celebrated today? It's hard to see, but I'm going to try and do this next part. Raise your hand if you're a student right now. Okay, that's a significant amount of the people in this room. Good. So, the things I'm about to say are particularly relevant to you all because I reference teachers and things like that. But if you don't identify as a student, please, I hope you'll still take something from this talk. I tried to make it so that you would. So recently I was in Hawaii, and Hawaii really makes me feel some type of way because, in my opinion, it's one of the most obvious examples of American imperialism going somewhere else and messing things up. And I really feel strongly about it. And so on Snapchat, I went on this tirade on my Snap story. And if you want to hear about all the ways in which I think Americans have ruined Hawaii, please ask me after. I'd love to share with you. But one of my old college counselors actually were friends on Snapchat, and he replied to my story and told me what a shame it was that my thoughts weren't documented anywhere else but in this string of 10-second video and audio clips that would disappear in 24 hours. So for all of you artists and scholars and students, the challenge that I'm posing you today is this: how are you going to make your contribution last? What legacy can you leave? Now, I've tried to distill my thoughts on this into 3 relatively simple points. Here they come. 1, it's okay to be first. You're in a room full of firsts, just at this event, but these are firsts. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is the first organization to trademark a hand sign or a call. They had the first Black female astronaut in space and the first Black firm on Wall Street. Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was the first Black Greek-led organization for college students. We have the first African American man to pass the military examination and the first Black Supreme Court justice. Being first isn't new here, but it's important, right? Being here is evidence of that. What I learned at school recently when talking to one of the alphas in Tucson is that someone has to start it, right? Someone has to be first. So my challenge to you is to go out and start a club, start a project, solve a problem, ask a question, a hard question. It's scary, yes, and you have to take a risk, and you might lose, but you're all in this room because you're great, right? And we see in you the potential to score, to make things happen, to build something new. The Eller African American Honorary was my big first. It's the first Black student organization for business students at the University of Arizona. We founded it over a year ago, about 3 semesters ago. I served as president this year, and I'll be serving as president next year. And my work with this organization has taught me more about myself and about my leadership ability than I would have ever learned through going through the motions and taking things as they were. 2, focus on relationships. The things you accomplish are good, but the relationships you build make the difference. When you're done with school, you'll graduate and you'll leave with a piece of paper saying you finished, some knowledge that may or may not be useful in the work you choose to do later in life, and the relationships you build with the people you worked with during school. Please, please, please put effort into building those relationships and connecting with people. Surround yourself with people that make you better and be intentional about who you spend your time with. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, these people will be there to pick you up, to tell you don't quit. They'll keep you focused on what matters, and they'll be there to celebrate with you as you achieve your goals. Also, be sure to build relationships with your teachers. Chat after class, go to office hours. If you're in college, invite them out to lunch. Really make an effort to learn from them. This might help your grades, but more importantly, you'll build a relationship with someone who's an expert in a particular field. And that's a huge positive in life. 3, be wrong until you are right. I'm going to say that again. Be wrong until you are right. It's like riding a bike. People love to talk about bike riding when they want to remind us that some things once learned are not forgotten. But they often omit, however, how these things are learned. No one learns to ride a bike by reading about it or by watching someone else do it. You learn by doing. You learn by doing it wrong, falling off, getting back on, and doing it again. This approach works for more than just riding bikes. It works for lots of things, like meeting new people, having difficult conversations, learning calculus, learning to sketch portraits, and leading people. I guess what I want you to take from this is that action is valuable. Nobody's counting your losses but you. And if you leave here with one thing, I want it to be you believing that you can try things, fail, take your L, try again, and succeed. Whether you're starting something new or building a new relationship, your ability to fail forward and continue learning is what will set you apart and keep you moving onward and upward. This is how you make your work last. So again, congratulations to all of you for being here. I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you.
Thank you, my young frat brother. Onward and upward. We're gonna hear a lot more about him in the coming years. On that note, I want to divert for just a second. Brother Attorney Dennis Dawson, would you stand up, please, sir?